speaking of waste of time, boy. So allow me for a second. Sorry, not even for a second. For a while. Don't worry, I don't plan on rambling too much about this, right? On Mr. Doug Walker.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We have to
So
talk.
yeah, I heard about this. Let me tell you something. Man. He's a man. Before you start, I'll just say that I didn't even watch this, and this is one of the. Look, I try not to be uncharitable towards people online, but he's one of the people who have. Yeah, he has totally, given up any goodwill that he has had. So here's what I did with this video that you're going to talk about. I literally just went on the video for 2 seconds just to downvote it, and then that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was from UT. He's a person that he's like a complete social parasite now, in my opinion. So I get the feeling that he just do this just to give himself, hype now, just so people could just talk about him in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Seriously, like right. I ain't watch it. I ain't watch what he did. So again, me being uncharitable, but yeah, it's some bullshit. Whatever, go ahead now.
Yeah. So a little background, right? A little background, right? So last Tuesday, I was recording here, was Republic Day, right? I was checking out a little show there, and then I just went up on YouTube. I was like, hey, let me see if any new videos come up, right? I see thumbnail for this, The Wall, Nostalgia Critic. Okay. I know he's a man who would touch on like big Hollywood movies, you know what I mean? Like, stuff that he saw before, hence the title Nostalgia, right? And he would just kind of touch back on it and see if it holds up. That's why I kind of like his older stuff, like more, like The Room, for example. I actually thought that review was pretty good. And just some of his older stuff I really do like. You know what I mean? Where, the quality wasn't all that polished or whatnot, but you still got the humor. You still got the appeal of a guy like Doug Walker, right? I never really took in his new stuff, right? Like, right after, the fair use and all that kind of stuff. And when he now started to, shoot cut scenes, from movies itself now. You know what I mean? So instead of because he can't use actual clips from the movie, right? Because of copyright issues. Right. You know what I mean? Him going out of his way to recreate certain scenes and moments. Like that was the moment where I just kind of locked off, right? And then of course, the big controversy with Channel Awesome and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, well, that mean he gonna wrap up. He just gonna finish, right? But I mean, he still put out stuff. I was like, all right, he's still doing his thing. He still has an audience. All right. Still okay, but all right. But yeah, but when I saw that thumbnail on that day, I was like, all right. Okay, this is what you're going for. Now for the backstory, right? So I am actually a fan of the movie and the album itself. Yeah. And the funny thing is that like I would say that it's one of those movies, like for me, right? Because I listened to the album first. This would be Pink Floyd The Wall, right? This is the album that they dropped in 1979, and then there was a movie that came out in 1982, right? So I listened to the album itself, and that's when I got the gist of the tone of it and what was going on, right? What they were trying to say in that album, right? And then I saw the movie first time. I was a little freaked out by it because just the imagery was a little too heavy on me. But then the more I checked it out, and it's really when the late great Roger Ebert actually added it to his list of great movies. That's when I watched it again. I was like, but this movie great, though, you know what I mean? And over the years, I grew to love it. And the reason being for me is that, no, it's not like, oh, well, it's about, like, I like it because it's about angst and, depression and nobody likes me. What I love about the movie really is just how, it's just a marriage between film and music. Is to me, is the perfect example of how you take a song, or in this case, an album, right? Because the movie itself is essentially like this 95-minute music video, right? But each song is conveyed in like a different sequence, right? So for me, what I took from it the most, and it still kind of inspires me, right? Is how you're able to take a song, like a piece of music, and adapt it visually. Whether the song is somber, like in the album, because the album itself is very dark, is very somber, very kind of depressing, and just kind of really downtrodden, basically, right? But it works because that's kind of the gist of what the story is about and what they're trying to tell, basically, right? So visually, it just conveys everything that the music really was doing as well. You know what I mean? For every guitar lick, for every piece of music, every progression of the music is conveyed perfectly in this movie, right? And you know what I mean? Yes, I've heard criticism before. It's pretentious, it's boring, it's depressing, it's
Right.
disturbing. But it's the album, right? So yeah, you may not like the movie. That's fine if you don't like it. If it's not for you, it's not for you, right? Cool. But I would say is the same thing with the album itself because yes, because of how dark and dreary and depressing the album admittedly is, you know, it's you don't have to love it. Even though a lot of people regard it as one of the greatest albums of all time, I personally
Right.
do as well. This is coming from a hip hop head. I
Yeah. Yeah.
love yeah, but it's not an album I will go back to every single day because of course
Right. Right.
there's the heaviness of it now. But that's it. That's it for backstory, right? So yeah, so when I see this man put up this video here, I'm like, okay. You know, in my head I tell myself, all right, I have a feeling, I know what you're gonna say. It's pretentious, it's full of itself, it's a lot of imagery that makes no sense. What's the point? Blah blah blah. Whatever, right? So I say here's what, let me actually take some time, let me give it a look, right? Close to 40 minutes this video is, and I watched the entirety of this thing, right? I
Right.
saw him recreate shots from the movies. Like, haha, no, I admit, right? I laugh at some points, right? But I laugh because two things. One, man actually went out of his way to recreate shots, like iconic shots from the movie, right?
Right.
Whether it's, live action or animated. Because, yes, there are some animated scenes in the movie, yes, which are kind of messed up and disturbing, but it's symbolism, right? That's why they
Yeah.
are what they are, right? Cool. So he does that for both live action animated sequences. The setup of it, which really is the main character of Pink being in this hotel room, kind of this going off there, basically. Like he's just in this sort of drug fueled zone, basically. Like this kind of, like basically it's memories and, fantasy and all that kind of stuff, just all kind of intersected in his mind. And he just kind of like just in this room, just thinking about shit, right? They do that, right? In this case, they get they get this guy, Corey Taylor, lead singer of the famous metal band Slipknot, right? To
Yeah.
be the star, to be well in the movie he was played by Bob Geldof, right? Not any member of Pink Floyd, right? He was another member of another rock band, but whatever, right? So they get Corey Taylor to play Pink, right? And it's just basically recreating certain shots, right? Certain moments, right? And then I was hearing the music, and I was like, but is Dog Walker singing basically what Roger Waters and David Gilmour sung in the album and the movie, right? I say,
Right.
okay, he doing over certain tracks, but this is a review of the movie, so where's the review? And it just kept going and going and going, right? So in a nutshell, he basically recreates the movie, right? Whilst redoing the album, which the movie's well, which led to the movie, right? But in my head, I like you're going out of your way, right? And you hear the lyrics. You say, "Oh, the movie is pointless and it drags on and it's boring and." You know what I mean? Like there's a famous song on the album called "Is There Anybody Out There?" He says, "Is there anybody who cares?" Right?
Right.
And you
Right.
have instead of "Comfortably Numb," which is probably one of the one of the standout cuts on the album. You have "Comfortably Dumb." You know what I mean? And it's just every track on this, right? Is just a critique on the movie, but
Right.
there's a point in the middle, right? Because apparently one of his sponsors is Honey, right? Which is this app. Well, this sort of
Yeah.
feature if you have
Yeah.
Chrome, you know what I mean. So when you go on Amazon, you could see if prices drop, blah 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 blah, right? So even after that, he say, well, this is where he dropped this bombshell, right? I was like, bro, really?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
motherfucker,
Again, here's the problem with this dude, right? He's
uh-huh,
the cinema. You're getting the cinema sins thing from him. Like anybody
yes,
knows why cinema sins is a problem. It's not that they're telling jokes. It's that they almost you're not sure what they're doing. And here's what they do. They'll make a claim as a critique. Then when somebody call them out on it, they'll just do this backpedal of no, it's really a joke, and I know how to really interpret this stuff. And really, what it is that they just had a bad take. Somebody called them on their bad take, and then they claim to be trolling after the fact. But the main point is that he just makes statements just to get a rise out of people, and that is, I suspect, is the only reason he do some shit like this. Because
Yeah. You're
nobody
right.
would talk, nobody would be talking about the man if he did like do a legit review of it. You'd be like, all right, well, he does do the wall, moving on.
Yeah. You're
But
right. You're right.
such a
And
fake.
what?
So
Sorry.
everybody fucking talking about it, even people who I ostensibly follow, and in my circles, them talking
Yeah,
about the
they're
fucking
talking
thing. And it's like,
about it like right now,
oh,
currently, right?
he's still getting attention now. That's my problem with
Yeah,
this now.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's the mess something about it. Because right now
Right.
this video has 24K dislikes, right? 60K
Yeah, that was
likes, and yeah, I downvoted it after I watched the entirety of this video. Okay, you know me,
right.
I'm a sucker for peen, right? I watch the whole thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So right after the honey thing, this man drop a bombshell. The man say, we hope you're enjoying the music here. This is a love letter to the album, right? And
Right.
then he say, if you want to hear the full album, click on the link below.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
on
He's selling
Spotify.
album. Yeah, he's selling his album.
This man has a soundtrack album to
Right.
the shit piece of a video that he made, right? 15
Yeah.
tracks. This guy, this guitarist Rob Scallon, I don't really know much about him. Wallace just redid the music from the album and movie, right? And
Right.
it's Dog Walker doing bad renditions of like Roger Waters songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just there like,
Yeah.
why are you
Shameless.
going through all this drama to talk about this movie though? And
Yeah.
then
Rush.
it leads to the end, right? So I'm not gonna say what happens because it's just really a waste of time. But like I say, it's just a recreation of the album and movie. Totally misses the point of what it's about. It's just once again calling on the movie and saying, "Oh well, it's about well at the time it was a critique. Well, the movie itself was a critique on Margaret Thatcher, but now I'm gonna recreate that now. So instead of well, in the case of the character of Ping becoming well, he at least imagine himself to be like this Nazi leader, right? It's a
Yeah.
team in the movie, don't worry, right? Um, he Doug more or less paints himself as this faceless character now. Like he just has like oh gosh, like you get like a marker and just like do like these dashes around his face and just put like your face here now. So he's saying, oh, because of symbolism, you could put whatever character you want that is a symbol of hate and greed and all that kind of stuff. And that's the
Right.
joke. That's the joke, right? And he just runs with this thing, runs with this, runs with
Yeah.
it, right? To the very end, and then afterwards, well, it ends, right? So the wall, well, the metaphorical wall, which in the movie is shown physically, falls at the very end because, well, Pink kind of realizes that, hey, I was isolating myself from everyone as a result of, me trying to not be hurt anymore in life, right? That's the theme of the main theme of the movie
Right.
of the story, right?
Yeah.
So he tears on the wall, right? And before that, there's a song called The Trial, right? So basically, it's him kind of imagining himself in this full animated series sequence, sorry. And
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
these characters that more or less represent things that affect him in his life show up and blah blah blah. But in this case, he get this animator who have this YouTube channel. What is his name? Let me see if I find it. Fenna, that's his name, Fenna. And
Right.
apparently he is working on some sort of sci-fi book or series or something. So, but he's an animator as well too. So he has like these sort of like these clips with like these foul-mounted creatures, but they all looking weird and stuff like that. All CG, by the way, right? So he
Yeah.
incorporate those same characters into that sequence, and they more or less saying, well, you know, the trial is the best scene because we have all these unique characters, but because the show never went out of its way to give them any development, which is not the point, but still, well, this is the point of that, what I mean, basically. So you have
Right.
this log sequence and it's not just bizarre, but it just makes no sense. And because the sound is so badly mixed, you hear them singing, but you can't even pick up on what they say. It's even worse too because well, Fedder is British, right? And because
Right.
the characters is talking in British, you can't really pick up on what they say. Point is, they redo that sequence, right?
Right.
And wall falls, and then afterwards, you're seeing Doug himself, right? Like out of the scenario, talking to the Slipknot guy, and he's like, "Well, wait, that's it." And Doug goes and say, "Well, yeah, because the show have an open ending, we decide to end it with an open ending too," which is a lie. There's no open ending in the movie, right? But whatever.
Right.
So he says, I didn't even get to say a line, you know what I mean? So what's the point? Or what do you think about the show? It's a review. We didn't review anything. I hear Dogna. Oh, it was fine. You know what I mean? A little full of itself, but it's fine. And, you know, it has some great imagination in it and great
Yeah,
music. So
yeah.
backpedaling again.
Back
So
yeah.
for 35 minutes of me wasting my time expecting an actual goddamn review, you just come and
Yeah.
say, "Oh, it's fine." Yeah, yeah. And then the worst part, I'm gonna stop here in terms of like the review of this, right? Of the synopsis of this. You might have the goal to end the show, to end the video, the 39, the close to 40-minute video, right? Which is way too goddamn long in my opinion. By having Mr. Man perform, wait for it, and it's also on the album, which is on Spotify, by the way, the theme song to SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay. Some bullshit, man.
Just because, oh, I could take this and it's so lighthearted and fun compared to the dreariness of the album. Fuck you.
Yeah, whatever.
Seriously. But,
Yeah.
and it was one of those things where I was like, okay, this was garbage. You know what I mean? I downvoted. Okay, let me move on with my life. But I was still like, but why, boy? Why would somebody do like how far up your ass you have to be, Dread, to make a 40-minute video where you just recreating and redoing songs and visuals from the movie just to come and
Yeah.
say, oh, it's fine, you know what I mean? When all through the show you're seeing, all through the video you're seeing, oh, it's boring, oh, it's pretentious, oh, it's just weird for the sake of being weird, and there's no story, and oh, it quote unquote flopped in the box office, and why are you talking about war and then you're talking about teachers and all that kind of stuff, blah 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 blah. And that's when I do a little search on YouTube, Jed. And I smile a bit. I smile a bit, Jed, because at the time I was recording, there's been video after video dropping about how bad that video is. And even better,
Right.
my boy from Neil Drop, Anti Fantano,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
called the
That's
album. Yeah,
he's
he
the
called
first
the album
person. Right. So
is the worst of the year. And I'm like, I didn't even
yeah.
need to listen to the album. I heard songs from it in this video. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
yeah, I agree. Worst thing out for the year,
Right.
Dre.
So okay. So here's why it wake up. I forget who was the first person to review it. Um or to bring up the whole dog.
I think who it is. Well, I saw. I hate everything. He has another
Right,
channel called
right,
Jam
right.
Media. So
It's them.
he and his brother and this other guy
Yeah.
spent
It's
this
them who
whole
talk.
hour was talking about is the
It's
worst
them.
video
Right.
out
You're
there. And
right
I
about that.
watched that. I watched.
Right.
I was like,
I saw,
I
right.
totally
I
agree.
saw.
This is
Yeah, I
this is
saw that,
this
but
is
I
the
didn't
truth.
watch that. I didn't watch that either.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
watch that. I just was like, oh shit, they hate on this thing. So I thinking, oh, that's where you're gonna stay. And like usual, okay, I'll tell you why. Because I follow a couple of the form of channel or some people, other than people like Lindsay Ellis and them. I follow this fella Erod, and I
Right.
follow what's her name, Alison Prigger now. Right, because
Yeah.
Alison Prigger's content is hilarious, and Erod's stuff is still good for me. So, but they're the ones who brought it up for the first time because they still sadly still stuck in the spiral of talking about Dog Walker now.
Right. Cause that
But
man just pissed him off so much he just
well,
you
the
know.
sad part is that they wouldn't have had careers or livelihoods if it wasn't for Doug. But they kind of got gone through the ringer because of Doug, especially Erod. Erod is the person I kind of feel the most sorry for now, in many ways now. And because his quote unquote nostalgia and aesthetic style very similar to mine, he's one of the people that gravitated to on the site because
Right.
he from the Caribbean and he most of his nostalgia quote unquote is like really similar to mine. Like
Right.
everything
Right.
he saw and go through in the Caribbean, is pretty much us. But he's from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
We from Trinidad. So all the same shit he see, I see in terms of syndication and when stuff came out and same time in. I don't know how much older he is of me, but I suspect around the same age we at.
Right.
Anyway, point is, I follow him. I still like his stuff a lot on his site. He's talk about stuff still funny in my opinion. Alison Prigger still pretty funny. She was also quite good on the site. Um. Anyway, but I think they really want to highlight the whole situation for the first time, and then Fantano bring it up now. So
Yeah.
I don't going on. I don't know if it's like a big conspiracy to say, all right, well, just give the man the fame, even if by any means necessary, give the man the fame. That's how it coming across. That's how this is come across. Like he just had to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
fame by necessary. I still can't give him that because, like, yeah, I didn't watch that man, but I still went out about to downvote it. And I shouldn't do that, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, thank you so much, Ed. Thank you
I
so
still
much.
feeding,
Yeah.
but it's still me feeding the beast now. So it's like whatever. I don't really
Yeah.
care.
So my overall point with this, right? Well, what I get at is, so for me, I want this to be more like a cautionary tale for me, right? Because as far as what I'm doing here, right? As far as being able to talk about films with a like-minded individual like you, I don't want like me actually attaining success in this. I mean, I personally don't see that happening anytime soon, right? I would love if one
Yeah.
day I could actually do this, just on a regular, right? And get paid
Right.
for it. Cool. But I don't want it to be the point, right? No, I don't ever want it to be to the point that I could like just look at a movie that I'm not even going to go out of my way to even try to figure out. And that's the main drawback with this video. It just comes from somebody who just clearly does that,
No,
just miss the point completely. And the only
no,
thing
it's not even that.
he can just
It's
feed
not
off
even that.
is just,
No, but
hey, it's the music.
as
Ha ha
I say,
ha. Okay.
as I say, with guys like Doug Walker and them, it kind of worse than that. To me, he not as bad as Cinema Sins, but almost as bad, which is he just kind of don't give a shit. You're kind of dealing with a kind of working nihilism almost.
Right, right.
Where he'll just say things and do things, and then when you call him on it, it's like, oh well, they'll just give the flimsiest of defenses
Yeah,
because
like
you're
it's
not
a
really
joke, man. Get it? We're
right,
making
not in defense.
we making fun of what people have said over the years about the movie. Ha ha.
Right. The
Come on.
show we're going. Yeah, and it's like, well, you're in a conversation with people like that, and the whole thing they just come across like, well, they don't owe you a discussion. And I said this before with him. He could have avoided all of this if he actually became a serious creator at one point. Because
That's
you
what
would
I'm
have never
getting. That's the point I want to get at
yeah,
with the creature stuff, because yes,
yeah,
I mean, even at my age, I still want to make my own films now. Like in your case,
yeah,
Ricardo, I would like to make my me shoot a little music video too, and how I mentioned before with being able to adapt music in the most visual or most perfect way visually. That's what I
yeah.
want to do, and that's what that movie pretty much means to me, that being able to do that. Now, not saying that Doug. I mean, Doug made his 3 films already, and I don't bother to. I even care to watch any one of them. I mean,
No, no,
that
no.
would
Like,
be
those
Kikasi and those kind of
to
stuff.
me,
Like,
those don't count. That's like still part of the site now. It's still bullshit now.
okay, I mean stuff
That's
outside
what I
of
don't.
channel stuff.
No,
All right,
like that's what frustrating about him because when I heard he bought this studio, right? Again, we're going back over this bullshit, right? But whatever. This was before the whole shenanigans with the site and wherever it is, right? The whole change the channel stuff happened, right? But at the time, he bought a studio, a full studio, and in my head, I was like, wait, boy, this is what he was working towards. And that's when I was like, hey, I know Ralph feel proud of the man because the man go and do some serious shit now. He bought a studio, working out of the house anymore, none of that bullshit now. Serious
yeah,
business. And then he just started like doing back the show and then went back to the Nostalgia Critic. Because remember, the character died off in one of the movies or whatever it was now. And I get it,
yeah,
like you're from the show. Cool. But then it's like, wait, he gone back to the same bullshit, and you wonder like, what the fuck going on? Why is he doing this? What going on here? And then to find out that he's not gonna just do back the same stuff, but not the same thing, and just change. He just back to the site as it is. And like, Doug, what the fuck going on? Like, you're not supposed to be doing this, dude. Like, it's just like actually make movies now. What's your point? Were you up
yeah.
to?
Like you spend all these years critiquing stuff. The least you could do is, well,
I
if
know,
you
and
want to, just make like a smart little satire. Let me just say,
no,
I
and to
mean,
be
it's about
fair,
Marvel stuff. Like, let's just poke a little fun at Marvel stuff, but let me just tell
right.
we own story without calling out Marvel and DC on,
No,
their
and
flaws there.
to be fair, I am not one of those who say, well, the best, the worst creator is better than the best critic or anything like that. I used to say that, and I don't say that anymore. Because I don't think that is very charitable either.
All right.
But that person might. But what is dumb on me is when you've been challenged. You've been challenged to try to create something yourself, and then you just kind of backpedaling from it, or what you're creating is like some real half-ass effort thing that's not serious. Like, okay, I just dump on this fella for being a little too strident in his film critiques. That is YMS. But I
Right.
can't deny that YMS is not a goddamn amazing editor and musician, right?
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you can't take down the man. The man do work with Blondie and things. So he's a serious person, right? Same thing with even these guys who does kind of bullshit sometimes, but even those guys are still kind of take seriously. We call them Mike and them from RLM,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Thing I can, they're wrong about a lot of stuff. I think they themselves is kind of beyond charitable when it comes to a lot of things, but I can't really take away from them in terms of understanding the industry. But Doug, I don't know what the fuck going on with this dude, Dread. Like I
Yeah.
never got him. He never made sense to me, and he's just one of those who he just come across, well, no, he had a chance to do something and he just decided to not go forward with it. And I still unclear as to why he decided to take that direction with his career and his life now. Right? It's like, seriously, you really on this, Dread?
Yeah. Because like when I was watching this too, I was like, but dude, I mean, whatever you want to do in his life is fine, Trey, but dog, this
No.
is what you want to do for the rest of your life, Trey? You just want to, like I
And
said,
then,
go
and
out
then
your
when he
way to
when
just, hack on old shoes that you just have to
yeah,
recreate them shot by shot. Oh, and by the way, before I forget,
yeah,
this have arguably some of the worst direction I've seen like
yeah,
in a video ever, Trey. Like
yeah,
VFX work is terrible, lighting
yeah.
terrible, acting terrible, props terrible, sets terrible. Like
Yeah, whatever.
as you
But
tell me about buying a studios, like dog, this is the quality you put out, Red.
that's
At
the
least
thing.
put some effort into that, though.
To me, the quality of this stuff is worse than what it was before you buy the studio. Like, props to, I forget the black guy's name, but Tamara's the other girl.
Right.
Fine, they're
Oh,
fine.
oh gosh, I always forget the black guy's name, but yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
right. You know, you know, they kind of funny and I don't really have any animus against them or anything like that, but like, them need to stop too, Dread. Yeah,
Yeah, they are better. They are much better at that. Even Tamara, who has her own little channel, Tamara hasn't seen like
yeah.
she's better at this, Red.
No, but the two of them that stick to the defense of him,
Right.
back when the whole controversy was going on. And I, again, in the end of the day, I in good conscience can't really watch the channel simply because of all that bullshit, and it's really Doug's negligence more than anything, caused the situation. But Doug is not, like, I don't think Doug himself was an abuser directly, but it's one of those, he facilitate bullshit and save your friend life, that nonsense now. Right? It's really Mike Mushudo's problem, blah 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 blah. We're not gonna get through that. But the point is that they still defend the man, and it's like, well, they pick a side now. And I saw kind of see that whole thing, unfortunately. Look, in the end of the day, look, the man figure out, he doing the Donald Trump thing, getting you to talk about him, even if you don't like him, and you shouldn't really talking about him, so that feeding into him.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That
We
that
spend,
that's exactly that because like I say,
yeah,
there've been videos popping up like daily, you know what I mean? Ever since I saw
yeah,
that video,
yeah,
just like critiquing the video, calling it a steaming pile of garbage, all that kind of stuff.
right.
And
But
even
and I
worse too
stand
because
back
of
from,
the album, you know what I mean? So you had to have people talking about the video itself or the album, sorry, or the soundtrack album that he did, or both.
right,
Yeah, but
right,
for me though, just to wrap things up, right? So I just want this to just be like a warning for me, right? Because I want to make film, right? And even if it's not a movie, you know what I mean? I don't want to, I don't want to have my ambition set too high. You know what I mean? Maybe a little music video or short, just something of value. You know what I mean? Something that will last. You know what I mean? But I don't want to ever reach a point where, okay, this is what my life is. Taking old films and recreating them, or new films and recreating them, because we can't use footage from trailers because studios will drop
but
copyright
at the
claims on
end,
us, and that's
yeah,
my bread and butter. That's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life, just doing that, and in the worst, laziest way possible too.
yeah.
Nah, man,
And,
like
and I'm sure he could
this.
keep justifying this. He could keep justifying this by saying, well, I'm making money and so and so. It's like, well, yeah, okay, but
Yeah,
you
but
know,
still, at the end of the
it's
day,
up.
though, is your credibility, Dread. So I just can't wait to see the next video. Cause yeah, like I say, it's not a lot of videos, but yeah, I could just but video after video has been popping up. It's not a lot yet, but I know it's gonna increase over time. In Doug's credit, I mean, yes, people will be talking about this video. You know what I mean? I do agree with Jar Media. It is probably the worst video he's ever done. They say it's the worst video on YouTube, right? But I thinking of it as at the moment, right? But I would say that people it have people who watch the video who never saw the movie, right? It's like, oh shit, now I should actually see it. Let me see what the joke is about. Okay, cool. So at least more people are gonna check out the movie now. If they haven't checked out the album already. But still, to fans of the movie and the album, this is a slap to the face, Red. It's not even a review. It's just I'm just gonna take everything that people have criticized
Right.
about the show and just give it to you in 40 minutes. You know what I mean? With really really terrible songs, Dread. And that's a
Okay.
joke. And they're gonna come and say, yeah, the movie was fine. You know what I mean? So what's the point? That's the main thing. It's like, what is the overall point of it? There's
No,
none.
as I
Okay,
say,
cool.
you're living in an age of people who, subverting, quote unquote, subverting expectations, but they totally miss the point of what it is to do that kind of deconstruction, postmodernism kind of stuff. So it just come across like vandalism more than anything. Whatever.
Yeah.
As I say,
So
he do the Donald Trump thing. He get us to talk about his bullshit. So I suppose job well done. You get us to talk about it again, dog walker.
yeah,
Fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, last thing I'll say to is like, yeah, Mr. Man took a huge shit on the wall, um, and he does not want to clean it up. Okay, fine, no problem. But dude, people are gonna remember this for a long period of time. Even if they just deny the fact that they saw the video or they do go to the way to forget, they'll be like, yeah, I remember this shit, and this was the moment where I totally gave up on Dog Walker. That's why I imagine a lot of people are gonna see it, Dread. So
Right.
I mean, if that's what the man want to do for the rest of his life, you know what I mean? Much credit to him, Dread. But for me,
Right.
this was 40 minutes of my life I not getting back.
Yeah.
But at least to get people to talk about the movie and the thing and all that. But still, Dread, dog, just stop. Just stop. Just stop. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I lock you off long time, and this didn't really change the situation.
Yeah. So
I lock you off long time. So ever.
yeah, so channel awesome, you know what I mean? Two middle fingers up from me, Dread, and this coming from somebody who actually loved the album and the movie, Dread.
Right.
Come on, do better than that, man. So
Yeah. Do better. Yeah.
that's just my little rant / warning to myself to just never reach that level, Dread.
Yeah. Don't
Where
be this.
I see that yes, I make it, I reach, right? And all I doing is just making fun of other people's art, basically. This is why I have to do to get by. Nah man, total waste of time. Fuck this shit. Moving on.
Yeah. Whatever.